call to order the regular meeting of the Ascension Parish Council, May the 5th, 2022. Please rise for the invocation and pledge led by Coach Thomas. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, sir. Let's bow our heads, please. Heavenly Father, as another day begins and as another day comes to a close, we come to this evening with grateful hearts. We come to say thank you for the many blessings that you bestowed upon each of us. Father, as we come, Father, we ask a blessing upon this meeting. Bless all those that have come tonight in interest of this meeting. We pray, Lord, that you continue to bless our kids as the close of another year of school year. Bless them, guide them, look over the parents. And Lord, we ask a blessing upon this parish of Ascension. We thank you and praise you. We give you the glory and honor that you so rightfully deserve. And Lord God, as always, as we leave this place tonight, I ask, Lord, that you allow us to get home safe and sound to our families. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you.
On the roll call, Madam Secretary, Chase Melanson is not here. Joel Robert is not here, and I understand Joel is on his way, so we'll continue what we have. Under Chair's additions, I'm going to take a little bit of a chairman's privilege tonight. We have a good friend that's leaving, and Martin, I'd like to ask you to please come up to the podium, if you wouldn't mind.
Been here since 76, man.
Hey,
Since 96.
You said no proclamations, there will be none, but I'm going to have to just say a few words. I've known Martin most of our lives. I went to school with my sister Claire. They became very close friends, played in Tiger Band together, and I watched his career. He's watched mine. We've been good, lifelong friends, and I just want to tell you how much we appreciate and admire you for the service you've provided to the citizens of Ascension Parish. You have been a bright light in a lot of dull moments, believe me. Thank you so much for your service. I appreciate it. I hope you and Isabella have a wonderful retirement together, and I'm sure you will. At this time, I'd like to see if any other council member would like to make a comment. Ms. Cassidy.
Martin, thank you so much. You've been a dear friend to us as we made this journey in politics. You started long before we did, to most of us, and we appreciate all your perspective. You saw this from both sides, and we really do appreciate that. God bless you as you proceed into your retirement with your beautiful wife, and may you have a wonderful, wonderful retirement. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
Coach.
Thank you. Martin McConnell.
We served on the council together, Coach and I.
We served 96 on through you and Miss Isabel. I don't know if Miss Isabel, how you doing, Miss Isabel?
They taught together. They taught at Laurie Middle School together.
Right.
That's awesome.
It's a long time ago. Appreciate your service, Martin. You've done a great job, and again, we're very thankful and grateful for the job that you provided for this parish, and we just ask that you continue to just going up King Highway. Bless you and your family, and y'all enjoy it. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach.
Anyone else?
Real quick.
Dempsey?
Again, Martin.
Dempsey and I served together as well.
Served together, and look, I want to make sure that it's known, me and Martin started out with the Council on Aging together, and we had Miss Grace.
We were on the board. We weren't clients of the
Well,
council.
we did.
Make that clear.
I know Miss Grace, and I know Miss Darlene Shake Snyder wishes you well also, and hey, good luck to y'all.
Thank you,
Dempsey. And I did forget to mention, he did serve on this council.
I served 8 years on the council. Yes,
he sure
I did.
did.
Thank you.
Did a great job there. No further questions from council members. I'd like to turn it over to Ruth Phillips on behalf of the administration.
Am I staying here?
All right, it's a little bit of a tough act to follow, but I promised Martin I would say a few words, so here they are. First, congratulations. It only took you a little over 8 years to finally be the first time item on the agenda.
I bribed cinnamon with chocolate. That's how I got there.
In all seriousness, though, you have truly dedicated your entire working career to Ascension Parish. I could get into the long list of Martin's professional, personal, and volunteer history in Ascension Parish, but I'm certain no one wants to be here that late. While many in the room have known Martin for a very long time, I'm thankful I had the opportunity to work with him for the last 2.5 years. From the first day I joined the parish, Martin has helped me navigate the government world, provide me with invaluable history, and always shared with me the inside scoop. While I knew Martin was going to retire someday, I was still a bit shocked when he formally announced it. Yes, I am thrilled for his next adventure, but I still can't help but feel a little brokenhearted. He's not only a fixture in this parish, but he is someone I came to rely on and someone who never disappointed. So, I will stop there as I could go on for quite some time, and this is allergy related, not tears. So, on behalf of the administration, Martin, I wish you the very best of luck, and I trust that I know we are only a 6-hour time difference, so please don't think this is the last
Seven.
time you'll hear from me. 7.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. President? Sure.
Am I on here? There we go. Yeah, Martin, I just wanted to tell you thank you. I've known you way before, not as long as some in the room, but just so excited to have you part of this team, grow with this team, not only administration, but with the council, this new council and new administration. And we appreciate you being part of our success. And sometimes even our failures, but we'll overlook that for now. But thank you for the successes and being part of the team, and we wish you best on your next adventure.
Thank you, President.
Thank you.
There's no such thing as failure. You either win or you learn from your mistakes, right?
Absolutely.
That's the way it is. And it has been my genuine honor to serve the people of Ascension Parish, this administration, the council. I thank Parish President Quentin Monruth Phillips for giving me the opportunity to continue to serve. I thank Parish President Tommy Martinez, who's in the audience tonight. I'm very flattered that he is here tonight because he's the one who gave me the shot. He hired me out of the banking business to make an honest person out of me, and brought me into Lamar Dixon, and then from Lamar Dixon came over here into the parish administration. And one thing that I just kept learning over and over is the great people who work for this parish, the employees, the staff, the administration, and the dedication there. And when I had the opportunity, I mean, I saw the parish from that side, and I've seen the parish from this side. And when I saw the dedication of the people and the things that we do, the things that this parish does for its people, I knew that this was the perfect job for me, and the perfect way to end my career is to tell that story, to let the people know that these are those things that are happening for you. I really commend the current administration, President Quintma and his administration, for making this a whole lot more open. I mean, we've got I think we're about ready to launch the new phone app, aren't we? We have a phone app coming out that people can download. We've got the Citizen Service Center. We've got the Open Finance online. We've got so many things that make the parish responsive to the people and open to the people, make it more participatory. And I think that's going to make your jobs easier, because the people out there now know what you are doing on their behalf, and it's their way to communicate. But it has been my honor to be a part of that, and I thank you very much. And your kind comments to me tonight were high praise indeed. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Outstanding.
Get a picture of Martin with us all?
Yeah, could we?
Yeah.
We'd love that. Who's going to take it?
You're going to have to do the selfie, Martin.
Who's going to take it? Thank you, everyone, and thank you, Martin. Best wishes to you and Isabella. Moving right along, public comment sign-in period. Anyone wishing to make comment on an agenda item, please see the secretary and fill out a card, either in opposition or in favor of the item, and we'll give you 3 minutes to speak on that item. Item 5, Parish President's Report. President Quitmo.
Chair, I don't have a report tonight.
All right, well, thank you, sir. Moving right along, item 6, general business. Item A, approval of additional administrator, communications director, public information officer Brandon Gatlin for social media per policy adopted by the council. Martin McConnell, your last duty.
Yeah, we're stringing this out. I'm milking it for all that it's worth. All right, council, back in the day, you passed a policy about social media and its usage, and part of that policy named the public information officer as the administrator of all parish social media sites, whether that be Facebook or YouTube or Instagram or Twitter or all of that. So I've been doing that, and I think in your packet you have a list of all of our different administrators and editors. But it is really my pleasure and an honor for me to present to you the new Director of Communications and the Public Information Officer for Ascension Parish, and I am going to humbly request that you authorize him to be the administrator over all of our social media sites. And that gentleman is Mr. Brandon Gatlin. He is in the audience. Brandon, why don't you come join me up here, please? He's younger, he's better looking, and he knows more stuff than I do. So,
Thank you, sir.
Dresses like Travis.
Yeah.
So, Chairman, if
had somebody dressing better than Travis.
no.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen, but we can compare socks after this is over. But Chairman, I would ask for a motion and a vote to appoint Mr. Gatlin as the administrator over all of our social media sites, and by extension to remove me from that position.
Moved by Councilwoman Casso, second by Coach. Any objection? Any further discussion? Motion carries. Thank you, Martin, and welcome aboard, Mr. Gatlin.
Can I ask him to make
Brandon,
a brief address?
please. You're welcome to make a statement.
I'd like to thank you for your acceptance on today. I'm very much looking forward to working for the constituents of the Parish of Ascension. I'm very pleased with the administration for trusting me with this honor, and trust that we have so many big plans that we're going to accomplish to continue to make government responsive and open to the people, and to continue to promote the good name of Ascension Parish.
Thank you. Well said. Well said.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Item 6B, condemnation proceedings for property located at 43318 Highway 621, Gonzalez. Ms. Patrice.
Good evening. I came before you again to present the property located at 43318 Highway 621. Since our last meeting, my last visit to the property was Tuesday. There have been no change, and I haven't heard from the Maloson family until today when I called them to remind them that the meeting location had changed.
Okay, I think someone's here with the family. Come to the microphone, ma'am.
My son is Storm Maloson. He took over this matter about 2 weeks ago.
Start now.
And as of today, as of when he's leaving the home now, we have put a solid wall on the side of the home that was falling down. So it has a stable structure. We have to continue to gut the inside of that to get those rafters and the roof changed, but everything in those 2 rooms are empty, gone, and there's a solid wall up there with 3 no trespassing signs so that no one tries to get into the property.
Ma'am, what we requested, the gentleman who came before us last meeting, we told him we needed a financial plan, a plan of scope of work that would be performed, and how that was going to be, taken care of. And, just coming to tell us that a wall has been built,
Okay.
That's not.
Like I said, he's not here yet, but I do know that we want to continue to move forward with this. I was only under the impression that we had to get that stable, secure, so it's not falling down into the home and that no one could enter the dwelling. My brothers are subcontractors. They work for local contractors here. They are willing to come aboard. As a matter of fact, that is who helped me today complete this wall so that we could present it to you here at this meeting that it was done.
Councilman Robert?
I just have a couple questions. Looking at the house, the siding on the house, is that a slate or is that a wood?
It is a slate,
It is a slate?
yes.
Okay. With that said, I mean, yeah, it is some value in that home. Is there anyone there that could take a picture of this wall and
I
send a
have
picture?
it with me. I have all the work that we've done in the last 2 days. And also, if you look at the home, the left side of the home is where there was a tree that created the damage. Well, being not taken care of, it fell.
And I looked at it
The
a little
rest of
bit
the home
further
is
last time
in
afterward, and
stable
like I said,
condition.
if you look at the slate walls on it, I mean, it is a home that's going to date back to the mid to late 1800s.
Yes, sir, it's our family
And it's going
home.
to have a lot of your cypress and your
Knotty Pond.
yeah, exactly. And if your brothers are subcontractors, and this is just me speaking, obviously not the will of any way of the board, but I know this is completely opposite of what I was saying last time, but I mean, that house really does have some value, because I
Yes,
mean,
ma'am.
that
It's gonna be in
slate
the
siding of it
development
just
that says
has
home, and
a lot of
it's
tail
the
of the
right
home
side, the
in
middle,
that time,
the
and it
back,
has
and
value
the
in
left
it and the
side of the
value of the
home.
inside of the
And if you
structure of
continue
it.
through,
So if
it'll
they were
show
to
that we have
come
a wall
tonight, or
to
maybe
that
even put it
here.
to maybe the next meeting,
And that's
and
what it
have
looks
some
like
proof
as
of it, or
right now.
subcontractors?
Minus the tour.
what would y'all think?
Okay, that's what it looks like as of now, minus the tarp, which they
If
were
they have the
putting
wall
on
up
as
there
I
right now.
left.
Oh, yeah.
But there's not just a tarp there anymore. That has supporting beams behind it.
And your brothers, do they have a company?
They don't own their own company. They
What's
only
the-
do self-contract. They work.
They're
for
licensed and bonded?
No, they work for Mr. William Averett and for Alan Joseph Broussard contractors.
Would they
It's
be
just
willing
because
to,
it's-
would they be willing to put their name on it?
I'm sure they would.
The contractor?
Yes, as a matter of fact, there is a structure on my property, carport that my brother built that is still standing, so, yeah.
If you go to the Cajun Village where the alligators are, and you go back and they have that old white house that's like falling apart, next to the handicap ramp, it's the same exact slate wall that I'm talking about there. And you can go inside that house and it's completely sealed and it's completely, can be locked up, but
Yeah, that was all
it's really not
prior to
bad.
today. That was cleaning it out yesterday. There it is.
Okay, Councilman Lawler?
Okay, I was gonna make a motion that we postpone this item until the end of the agenda, to allow, if our brother's coming,
Not my brother, my son. My
Your
son's
son,
the
if
one
your
that
son-
came to the meeting last time. Yes,
is
sir.
he on his way here?
He should be.
Okay, I'd be willing to postpone it till the end of this agenda, to give him time to be here if he's caught in traffic or something, and then we can make that decision then, to give you a fair chance to let him speak.
Yes, sir. We have worked diligently the last 2 days in the sun, me being there, to try to present something that was worthy of you guys seeing and not just a tarp hanging over a hole in the wall.
Okay, what we're planning to do is rearrange the agenda, not add anything. So
No,
we
no,
don't need a-
it
We don't
just-
need a motion to amend it. We're just going to rearrange the order. Is everybody in agreement with moving this to the end of the agenda? No objection? Okay, we'll wait and hope that your son
Chairman.
gets here before
I'll
then.
try to contact him. Thank you.
Chairman Cagnalotti, can you put a number on it? Is it going to be
Let's make it,
7D? Or do you want it after executive session?
could make it 8D?
8D, yes. Sorry.
8D? It wouldn't be public hearings, but it would be item 8.
Can't make it a public hearing.
Can't make it a public, okay, after executive session?
Yeah, that was my
It'll
motion, to
be-
put it after that, it shouldn't last long.
After executive session, it will be, I guess, 9B?
Yeah.
Well, that's executive session, we can't do that.
That's
Yeah?
fine. It can be,
Okay.
that's
Ken?
fine.
9B. All right. Item 6C, resolution to authorize the parish president to negotiate a contract with Louisiana Department of Health and Hospitals and to execute documents on behalf of the parish for WIC services. Miss Christie, there you are. Welcome.
So what this is we're asking the council to authorize our parish president to renew our WIC contract for another 3 years. What this does is we see about 1,900 WIC participants a month. They come into the health unit. Well, right now we're doing curbside service because of COVID. We give them nutrition education. We load benefits onto their little WIC card, and they go into the grocery stores and purchase what's designated on their WIC cards. We currently have 14 grocery stores in Ascension Parish that are authorized to redeem WIC benefits to Coach or in Donaldsonville. And that brings about $1.6 million into our parish for the items that are redeemed in our grocery stores. So.
Motion by Coach to approve, second by Michael. Any objection? There being none, that motion carries.
And may I
Thank you,
say
Christie.
Happy Nurses Week to all the nurses employed by the Parish of Ascension at our jail, our health unit, and our mental health unit. It's Nurses Week, guys. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Chrissy.
Okay.
Yeah, Happy Nursing Week. Okay, item 7A, introduction of an ordinance to amend and add certain sections of the Unified Land Development Code Appendix 4, Development Code, specifically add section 17-4060, traffic impact analysis. I just need a motion to introduce. What was that, Michael? Introduced by Michael. Item 7B, introduction of an ordinance to extend the moratorium only on development that produces more than 40 peak trips until June 30th, 2022. Councilman Mason, Councilman Alonso, Councilman Wagasback, Councilman Lawler.
Motion to introduce.
Motion by Councilman Lawler to introduce. Item 8A, under public hearings, reading of an ordinance to amend the Ascension Consolidated Utilities District Number 1 and Parish Utilities of Ascension Water Company, Rules and Regulations, Section 4, Billing, Fees, and Payments, 3, Fees to adjust and revise the fee schedule. Mr. Dawson, I'm sorry, Kenneth, would you please read the ordinance?
Yes.
Not the
Ordinance, purpose
give
to
Bill the microphone, right?
to amend the Ascension Consolidated Utilities District Number 1 and Parish Utilities of Ascension Parish, Ascension Water Company, Rules and Regulations, Section 4, Billing, Fees, and Payments, 3 Fees. Whereas Rules and Regulations for ACUD Number 1 and PUA was established December 8, 2021, and whereas the Utilities Department recommends that the fee schedule be adjusted and revised, and now therefore be it ordained by Ascension Parish Governing Authority that the Ascension Consolidated Utilities District Number 1 and Parish Utilities of Ascension Water Company, Rules and Regulations, Section 4, Billing, Fees, and Payments, 3 Fees, be amended as more fully described in Exhibit A attached here to and made a part hereof, severability. In the event that any portion of this ordinance is ever held invalid or unconstitutional for any reason by any court of competent jurisdiction over it, such portion shall be deemed a separate, distinct, and independent provision and shall not affect the validity of the remaining portions of the ordinance. Effective date, this ordinance shall be in full effect as permitted by law. The ordinance having been submitted to a vote, the vote thereon was as follows.
Motion by Michael to open a public hearing, seconded by Terry. Motion to close by Joel, second by Terry. Need a motion to move the ordinance. Motion by Michael to move the ordinance, second by Terry. Any objection? There being none, the motion passes. Motion to enter executive session.
Second.
Roll call vote, Madam Secretary. We are in executive session. Okay, I'll entertain a motion to reconvene.
Second.
Motion by Corey, second by Terry to reconvene. And that brings us back to item 6B, which is now item 9B. And it's the condemnation proceedings for property located at 43318 Highway 621.
Yeah, I'm Storm Lawson. This is Mr. Rodney's son. I came here 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
We had asked you about a plan and a
Yes, sir.
estimate to get the work done.
Yes, sir. So I actually have all the pictures of everything that we've accomplished thus far, if y'all would like to see those.
We saw them. Is that the ones we've seen? Yeah.
Y'all forgive me for my attire. We're finishing up the house over there. Mom, I think you got the finished photos. Okay. How does this work? What do I do? Okay. So it is finished. Like I said, she showed the finished, but everything is now boarded up. Everything has been removed. That is not part of the plan. But yeah, that's been, here we go. So as you remember, like when you're passing by on the road and everything, that was completely full. And so all that stuff has been taken out. And then my uncles who are subcontractors, they've been doing framing and housing their whole lives. We went through the whole house. Everything is structurally sound, right? It's just what was been exposed to the elements is what made it in this condition. So everything else in the house, so it's almost like if the house was built and then the roof was put on afterwards. When the roof takes damage, it doesn't affect the rest of the home. So everything is still extremely solid. Even in one of the pictures I have here, let's see if I can find it. Yeah, this one here. So this is just inside of where all the damage is at. You can see that this wood here is still in really good condition, and that's the majority of the home. Of course, there's going to be some patches that need to be made. I mean, we accomplished all this in one weekend. I was sick last weekend, so we didn't have the opportunity to do anything. But this is something that we can continue to do. I mean, within 2 days, the fact that we were able to accomplish what we did, I think that was a pretty, good feat. And I'm looking forward to continuing to do so and to see what it turns out. I think the ultimate plan is to just cut the rotten side of the house off. And after talking with Mr. Tommy and my uncles, who are all, contractors in the area, they said that was perfectly fine. They said they would hate to see the house be demoed because it's in good shape from where it's damaged on forward. And they also said they just don't build them like this anymore. So.
All right, Councilman Ogeron.
Mr. Malonson?
Yes, sir.
Okay. First off, I feel for your family. I'm not one that would want to see that sort of a house be demolished, particularly when I know that there are dozens of other properties in our parish that are in worse condition. And so I'll have questions for the administration afterwards, but I want to ask you, have you guys figured out how much it's going to cost to do the work you need to do to salvage this house? Have y'all figured out that number?
No, I didn't land on a number.
Okay, because I'm just going to be realistic with you, okay? Kind of doing some patchwork here and there, it's not going to salvage this home. I'm originally from Lower Lafourche Parish. All of our homes that were built before 1970 were built just like this one. Mm-hmm. And you're right, they are strong, they are stubborn, they don't want to go anywhere. But when they're damaged, it takes a lot of money and resources to restore them. So I guess the question I got for you guys is, do you have a financial plan put in place to where you're going to be able to make this home livable again for someone? Because right now, it's not livable, at least from what I've seen on these pictures. And I think you would agree with me that no one should try living in that house right now.
No, nobody's living there.
Okay. But I think you guys need to come back to us with, this is what it's going to cost us to do the work. This is our plan on how we are going to acquire these funds, how we're going to pay to get this done. Don't wait until the last second, okay? Because eventually the administration and the council is probably going to lose patience, okay? But I would suggest that you guys get together tonight, sit down, formulate yourselves a plan, a financial plan on how you're going to renovate this home. Look to your churches. Look to civic organizations. If you guys are going to have a tough time with the finances, ask them for help. Okay, I know that there are various organizations in this parish that do that sort of work. I know that organization that I belong to, I don't mind talking to you about them off camera later, that we've done that kind of work for you guys, for folks. We've gone in and helped with some general carpentry work to get this kind of stuff done, okay? So get yourselves a plan, and plan on executing that plan for us. I would, once I'm completed, I'm going to ask the council for us to push this back 30 days, giving you guys an opportunity to get us a plan and come back to us with it. That'll be my thing. But that's sort of what I wanted to talk with you about.
Yes,
I want to ask Patrice a couple of questions now. And I think I alluded to it earlier. There are other properties in this parish that, in my opinion, are in worse condition than this. How is it that we came to the conclusion that we needed to condemn this property and not any of the others that we have?
So first, we've been dealing with this property since 2018.
Okay.
With all due respect, at the last meeting, this was stated that they come before us with a plan, with a financial plan. I heard nothing from the Maloso family. As stated before, I'm willing to work with the Maloso family to preserve their memories and what's important to them. But I have to follow the ordinance because that's my job.
Sure.
Now, what's special about this property and why I'm not going after several other properties? I am going after several other properties. Just recently, we had 2 houses and a church torn down. No, I don't come before you and present what we're doing, but right now, I'm a one-woman army. We're hiring a code enforcement officer, and we're trying to get in the admin. With the help of administration and Darren and Tyler, we're doing the best that we can. But this property, we've been dealing with it since 2018. And we asked initially, can you board it up? Can you help us help you? We do have boarding standards. Nothing was done. So I've been begging and pleading, can you please do something to make this house safe for the community? You can see how close the property is to the neighboring. How close it is to a driveway. It's only, 20 feet away where somebody can go into the home or an animal is just exposed to the elements. And it's been like that until they decided to do something Wednesday and today.
And Patrice, listen, I want to let you know something. First off, I apologize. I wasn't at the last time that you had this conversation with all of us, and it's, again, I said it last time. I said I've been dealing with some health issues, and so I've missed a lot recently. And I'm not accusing you of anything by any stretch of the imagination. I know that you are conscientious with what you do.
Yes, sir.
And from what you're telling me right now, I'm going to look to Mr. Maloso and I'll say, this has been 4 years. It's time to fish or cut bait, and I would like to give them an extra 30 days if you think, and I'm asking Patrice this, if you think the parish can afford waiting another 30 days before condemning this property.
I want to get Darren up here to speak in reference to the condition of the home, because I can show you pictures, but he can definitely give you more insight on the actual condition of the structure.
Okay. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Good evening. So yeah, like Patrice said, just to reiterate, this has been going on for 4 or 5 years now. Although there is a pretty good bit of the house that is salvageable left, the amount of money and time and work that's going to go into this house, they're going to have to bring the other side of this thing up to code compliance. And feasibility of that with, it's going to cost a lot of money, which, I mean, if they can give us a plan, but, I mean, we've been waiting since October is the first time it came, and we constantly getting calls from all over the place asking what's going on, and then we're setting a precedent that we're just going to keep giving extensions and extensions and extensions. Like I said, some of the wood in the house may be salvageable. I mean, we don't mind giving them ample amount of time to get that out before we do demolish it if it's condemned. But the amount of money and time and effort it's going to take to bring that house back to code compliance today. Because once you get over a certain fair market value of that house, you have to comply with the current standards. And that's kind of where this falls is, I mean, you could see rotten wood that they got to replace all that. And I mean, that's 2x6s spanning half the length of the house. Not going to happen. And the foundation, the floor system, that kind of thing, you're just looking at a lot more time and work than patching it together, putting some sheets of plywood up to cover the hole. That it blocks it off, but it's still not structurally sound. And if we keep just trying to piece it together, it's going to be even more of a problem than it is now. And I'd hate for them to sink a bunch of money into something that we can't reach a conclusion on, and then we're at another standstill.
Your opinion is after they would repair it, they would be upside down financially. They would spend more money than the property would be worth.
Correct. I mean, you literally have to tear half the house down and build completely new. I'm not sure if this is in a flood zone or not, and then you got to think about elevation requirements. If it's below the base flood, you got to bring it up 2 feet above. That's a FEMA requirement for flood insurance. Yeah. I know it probably doesn't have flood insurance, but I mean, everybody has to comply. It goes on our rating for the parish as a whole. Yeah. So that's just a couple points I wanted to mention. And like I said, we'd like to see it be dealt with, but I do understand the sentimental value and that kind of thing. It's just the safety and, like I said, the amount of effort it's going to take is pretty substantial.
Yeah.
Okay, Councilman Robert.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, if you could stay up there for me too. Those pictures, can you put the pictures back with the exposed wall? Mr. Lawson, yeah. The other picture. Another one. It was showing the bottom seals. Okay, that's not it. Keep going through them and I'll show you. No. Go right there, number 4. Number 4, number 5. If you can zoom in on them. I can't see in this picture, but your bottom seals over here, those are cypress. And one of the pictures that you were showing, it might have been where it was actually boarded up. You could see some close-ups of it. Those seals are not 2x6s. They're like minimum.
I was speaking of the ceiling joists, not the floor joists or the girders in the floor.
Okay, but if you look at those, the only one that is bad is where the roof was coming down on it. And like I said, I can't see that in that picture. These homes that were made in this period, in this time, were made before the levee system was there. That's why they were made with this type of wood. If you look at not the top of this roof, because it's not on the roof, but in the other side, you can see the actual part where the ceiling is made. You can see some of the pegs from the pegs in the holes where they do some of the beams. They also have shiplap on your walls, and that's your interior wall. That's not even your exterior wall. A lot of your expense whenever you do homes, and I'm not just speaking from the top of my head. I mean, I grew up moving homes. My father still, does old homes. We've restored old homes my whole life. This stuff in here was made for weather. It wasn't made to have a roof and be weathered like it is some of this stuff. Every year these homes would flood when the levee wasn't there. I mean, if you look in the old homes, they have bricks in the walls. The bricks were in the walls so the home wouldn't float away whenever the tide came up. I mean, realistically, if he was to come over here and put a lot of hard work into it, because I know what it takes to do this stuff, it's salvageable and it's doable within a budget in the sense of he doesn't have to redo everything. If you go back and you look at the shiplap and you look at these walls, it's not going to be sheetrock. It's going to be, or if they did some updating, it maybe. I mean, that gets ripped out, but your pine shiplap behind it, and you have your beams behind it. You have to redo some of your roof, but most of it is actual labor. I know there's a lot to do. I know there's a whole big of a chunk to bite off. It's not like he has been dealing with this since 2019. He came at the first meeting, and I mean, that was 2 weeks ago. I can't respect which y'all do more. I mean, I really do. And I go out in the field and I meet y'all all the time. I really do. But this home does have some value to it. If he continues doing what he's doing and has the resources that he's saying, not the money-wise, but if his uncles are subcontractors and that contractor is willing to put their name on this project and actually pull some permits, this is doable. I mean, no. Even rewiring everything. Rewiring isn't that bad. I mean,
Keep in mind, he has to hire a licensed contractor to do all the repairs in this house, and they stated earlier that none of these guys are licensed. So
no, hold
hold
on. He said that they are subcontractors for a contractor, and that contractor would sign on to this job.
Okay.
If permits are pulled, they have to follow the process of the permits. I'm not in any way denying that. Also, if it's in a flood zone and they have to go, I mean, everything still has to follow the process. We're talking about, let's take a break here and see, because it's not. If this was a structure that had no value and really just you had to tear the whole thing down and you couldn't use the guts of it, I'd agree. But, I mean, and I haven't seen it. And I would suck at giving them 30 days. I will make a commitment to meet both of y'all out there to go look at the bones of the building, look through the building, and meet you out there and see if they can really get some stuff. I mean, you got to go to the parish. You got to have something on paper. You got to show some type of effort and show some promise you can do it the right way. But I mean, even wiring these old homes is not that hard to do if he's willing to do it.
Okay, Councilwoman Hazard.
So my question was, have you gotten any permits at this point?
At this point, no, ma'am.
Okay.
Like,
That was all I needed.
Okay, Councilman Lawler.
Yeah, I've got a couple different questions. First of all, I was going to mention that it's kind of already been brought up to Councilman Ogeron. I think you missed that part. That was one of the requirements for this meeting, is that they show up with a cost, and the president, I think, was the one that first brought it up, and it was a great idea. Come up with a cost to fix this, how much it's going to cost, have a plan together. So that has been required already, and we are looking for that. Patrice, I want to ask you, this thing has been going on forever, and it's because you don't have help. Do we, and I'll ask the administration and you, do we have a plan to get you some help?
We actually interviewed another code enforcement officer. We had code enforcement officer interviews today, and we've been working on getting in a second, another admin person to help with that responsibility of like sending the notices and processing violations and answering the phone, because we do get a lot of phone calls. I don't know, my number is just out there right now, so I get calls all day during the week, on the weekends. So even when I'm out in the field, I try to go out on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and Monday, Wednesday, and Friday I'm in the office. I do get a lot of help from Darren and Tyler. They're very helpful when it comes, because sometimes it could be overwhelming, but we're definitely working on getting more people, and hopefully our little division will grow and we'll have additional code enforcement officers. But that's in our plan, hopefully, for the future. But right now, it's just me right now, and then we're working on getting 2 other people.
Because it's hard on the citizens of the parish too to hear that this has gone on for 3 or 4 years. That's really hard for people to hear, because we have these kind of problems, and Councilman Ogeron alluded to it, but I think we've all seen it all over the parish. And sometimes they're just not reported, sometimes they are, and they sit. And the problem with it taking this long is it does set a bad precedent. It makes it more dangerous. It's more likely that something's going to go wrong. So I guess, John and Clint, can we set a timetable to get her some help? Because I feel bad for her. I mean, this is,
well, help is
I know we're interviewing.
So this is not the first time this has come up, not even 2 weeks ago. This was before y'all, and we gave them the extension. This was, the first extension was to get the good wood out
Oh, yeah.
and tear it
This
down.
back in October, this started, but I'm talking about to get
Yes.
Patrice some help.
Yes, that is in the process, but, we've had, I can't remember the first time when this came up, how many other ones we had before the council. It was 3 or 4.
It was 3.
If I'm not mistaken.
It was 3.
Huh?
Yep.
Yeah, so what was done doesn't meet code. There has not been submitted for any permits. there's not even a plan submitted to the parish on what they plan to do. And so, we can't act to move on just this one, much less 12 others, unless y'all make the decision to move on them. And so this continues on and on. But I just, when the first plan was to get the good wood out, that led us to the previous meeting 2 weeks ago, which then has been now, we put up a wall that doesn't meet code, nothing meets code, zero. Haven't submitted a permit, haven't paid a single permit fee, doesn't have a licensed contractor. The cost of doing this is tremendous. You can't just throw up a wall and another extension. If that's the case, then we let every other blighted property in the parish continue on and on and on and on. This is where the rubber meets the road. And if we ask for all that information, and you've given them 2 weeks, and we got absolutely none of the information, zero, you did not get anything you asked for, other than a wall being put up in the last 2 days, which does not meet code and has not even permitted. We don't even know if it's structurally sound. So, we can hire a dozen of them, but we got to move on some of these projects. And we are getting Patrice's help, though.
You want to move on this. I understand that, and look, so do I. My question, though, goes back to it is, do we have a timetable to get Patrice's help, to get an administrator and another code enforcement officer?
Yes, we're in the process.
Yeah.
We're working with her to strengthen her department, as well as we need to take a look at blighted property ordinances and strengthen those as well, and seeing what some of the city of Gonzalez municipalities doing with junk cars and other things. This has been a request from citizens, and it's building more and more and more, as y'all know, because y'all get the phone calls. And we're going to have to take a look at the whole scope of it, not only help, but revisit our ordinances and how we deal with these properties. Had elected officials call us and say, how's the blighted property stuff coming to the parish? We don't see any movement. So the want is there, and we just got to start moving and taking them off the list.
We're more than willing to move them, but they have to be brought to us. So it goes back to my question, what is the timetable in getting our help? I know that we can do things.
We're in the process that right now. Patrice?
We had interviews today. We're hiring. We're replacing a code enforcement officer that quit about 6 weeks ago. He moved on to another position. So we're replacing him, and then we're adding an admin. Code enforcement has always been one person. And honestly, I was a secretary, along with Lance's zoning secretary, helping with code enforcement with Richard Throckmorton. So to have one additional person, we've doubled our staff, to be honest. And just to see us moving to have 3, our little division is growing. And we are making changes. We have a lot of people are voluntarily compliant. Just last week, I was able to drive an excavator and help demolish a mobile home on Camp Drive. So we're moving forward, and we're doing a lot of big things. Just because it's not posted or published, we are making moves in code enforcement. So when I say one-woman army, I definitely mean one-woman army.
Will another code enforcement official be enough, or are you going to need more of that? And it's not a problem if you need more after that. My thing is, tell us, because we can adjust the budget for that sort of thing.
So right now, we're more reactive. I want to move to being proactive, to where we have a code enforcement officer or 2 or 3 or 4 out in the parish seeking violations. And we've had several meetings scheduled to meet with the sheriff, to where instead of going through the process of, okay, so what do we do now that they won't comply? Now we're going to go with the sheriff, and they're going to serve notice, and they have to appear in court, like some of our blighted properties. Like we have 4 going before for injunction coming up soon.
What I'd like to see done is maybe you within the next, and I'll set a timetable on it, I love timetables, time limit on it, 4 months.
Okay.
Come back to us with a plan, with a budget, which you need. I'm not saying we're definitely going to approve it, but if you had your druthers and you could hire as many people as you wanted and explain why they're needed, what their roles will be, it'll be a little bit of work. I know it will be, and you've got a lot of other things going on, but it's a lot of work to invest in maybe getting more than just one other person, maybe getting 3 or 4 other people, and actually having the code enforcement department, like you said, become proactive. Because I don't think one more person is going to make it proactive. You're still going to be overwhelmed.
Yes.
I think we can find the money to do that,
we hire a lot of employees, and I want to see some in your department, because I think the public, we've heard, really wants this. I get a lot of calls. I know a lot of the demolitions have been in my area because I've told my people, hey, call 450, 1200 if you have a property that is blighted, because we want to take care of those because they're dangerous. And when hurricanes come and high winds come, that creates more problems.
Right.
So please, we'll remember that 4 months from now. We'll put it on the agenda to have your presentation on that, and we'll see, what your thoughts on it are. I'm not promising anything, but, a good presentation will go a long way there.
Yeah. Aaron, I agree with that, but I also agree that the parish president said, and we got to concurrently look at the ordinances and try to get them back up to speed so we can have some teeth to go and enforce the ordinances so that we can take blighted properties, automobiles, whatever. And they're looking into city ordinances and other parish ordinances. So let's keep the ball rolling and let's work together to make this thing happen.
I do want to bring up that we did, y'all did adopt the property maintenance code in November.
Somebody, I know we just done this.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Property maintenance code.
So we do have the teeth. We just moving into implementing that. We're going with the sheriff instead of having us just sending pretty much just dirty letters. So we want to move forward to where citizens, litter bugs are being fined and having to do community service. But it won't be set by the parish. It won't be set by us. It will be set by the sheriff and the judge.
Okay. Councilman Mason.
Thank you. So yeah, this is the third time we've talked about this, and the first time we were told by the owner, Mr. Melanson, that he just wanted to get the good wood out, and then you came last time and you told us that you wanted to get all the personal family stuff out, and now we're talking about fixing it with financial plan. You've gotten all the personal stuff out. I know that Davin said he would give you guys time to get the good wood out, but I think at this point we've given you guys 3 extensions, and I just don't see the point of giving it a granting another one. I'm sorry. I mean, I know you guys have a lot of meaning in this house, and I do respect that and understand that, but this is the third time we're now talking about this. And, according to Ms. Patrice, it's like you guys don't do anything until the day of the meeting when y'all supposed to be here. And they're like, oh, no, wait, we have to fix this so we can do this. I mean, the last time you guys hung up a tarp, this time you put up a plywood wall. To me, it just doesn't seem like a priority until it's deadline. So with that, I would like to go ahead and make the motion to condemn with some time to get out the good wood and everything like that.
We got a motion to condemn by Michael, second by Councilman Wagenspack.
You got it. Well, I was saying he has his motion and I seconded it already. For the 30 days?
No, there was no second.
Yeah, I seconded it.
There was no formal motion.
There's no formal motion.
Oh, he made a motion and I seconded it, but okay.
He said he would talk about it.
Madam Secretary, there was no motion made, no second? Okay. So we have a motion before the council.
But I do have
Councilman
a
Robert.
discussion. Yeah. And this is my last time, but I'm going to give this one more shot. The difference here is the guy standing in front of us. Thank you. And I mean, I get it. He seems to want to save this house. Now, precedent, we're not setting precedent. I mean, precedent was already set. For example, the property near the Miles property is completely open, and we gave him a year. And it's actually a hazard, and it's actually danger. Initially, we asked them to put up a wall in 2018, 2019, whenever it was, and we would have been fine with them putting up a wall. Well, the wall's up. I'm not asking for a lot. Give them 30 days. Let them have a plan. 2 weeks is not that long. I mean, we had a meeting 2 weeks ago. You want to go and, besides your work and besides everything else, go pull all this up. I mean, look at all that junk in there. That's a lot of work. Now, give extension on extension on extension. That's okay if you have somebody over here saying the same thing and doing nothing, but you have someone new that has done something, and he's here. But like I said, that was my last shot. Y'all want to do it, that's fine. Thank you.
Councilman Lawler.
I was just going to say, we've already given extension after extension after extension in this situation. I think it's time to move, and we set the precedent that we're going to move on things like the parish president asked us to do, help Patrice on that, and send a message to the entire parish that we're ready to move and clean up our parish.
Yeah.
Okay, we got a motion and a second before the council. Any objection? I'm sorry, go ahead, sir.
I just wanted to say that, first and foremost, Ms. Johnson, I should have contacted you throughout the week. I apologize for that. I know you guys were pretty much ready to just shut this whole thing down, and then I walked into the room, and y'all were like, who the heck is this guy, you know? And y'all are pretty much done with this, and I understand that. This is only my second time being here. As far as like flooding and all that goes, it didn't flood in 2016. Codes, man, y'all give me a shot to figure out what the codes are. I can figure the codes out. I can't give you a financial number. Like, I can't tell you, hey, this is how much it's going to cost. I know I put in some work in the last 2 days, which made it seem like it really wasn't that much of a priority, but I have been doing my best to organize people to come together to help move this stuff out. As far as like licensed contractors goes, I mean, like Saved Electrical, that's a buddy of mine named Tyler Hardy. He said he's willing to do the electrical in-house. Mr. Eddie Greer out in Denham Springs, he's a licensed contractor. He cuts lumber. He said any of the lumber that we would need, he would provide for the house, and he's willing to sign off that as well. I mean, I'm asking for a shot 4 years later, you know, because I wasn't a part of this for the last 4 years. I've only been here for 2 meetings. And kind of feel like I jumped in the ring with Mike Tyson, and I'm against the ropes right now, so.
Okay, we got an objection. Secretary, please open up the motion is to condemn. Mr. President, before we vote.
If you gave the timeline, was it 30 days to get the wood out, or was there a time before we would tear it down? I don't know if that was discussed, but I think if you're voting to condemn, and that is the case, the original reason for delay was to get the wood. So if you'll have a certain amount of time, 30 days, I don't know what it takes to do that, but you could at least have that option within 30 days before.
Davin, because he knows it better than I do. Darren, sorry.
30 days is in the ordinance, but I mean, you can motion to whatever. I don't know.
30 days to remove.
We can ask them how much time they think they need to get the stuff out that they need. I would think 30 days should be enough, but I mean, I don't want to. I would like them to get what they can out of it before we move in there.
So the motion is to condemn, which allows them 30 days to.
Correct.
To remove whatever valuable wood or whatever's of any value.
Yeah, anything that they need out of the structure, they have 30 days by ordinance.
Well, it's already in the code once it's condemned, they have 30 days. Okay.
We don't have the option of giving them more at this point. No,
right.
We could continue
Nope.
30 days.
All right. The vote is open. Okay, the ayes have it. The property will be condemned. I entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion by Corey, second by Councilman Mason. We are.